Literally fueling this nonsense of mine thanks to Haribo Crocodile because they're a must, right? Bonjour everyone and welcome back to my channel, The Waves of Your Soul. Today's video is gonna be my top 5 tarot decks that came out in 2021. So we're nearing the end of the year now and that means deck extravaganza over on this channel because I really want to be able to discuss all the decks I enjoyed using, the decks I enjoyed discovering, getting to know, explore, love, hate. I'm gonna be discussing all of that in the month of December, maybe in the month of January if I don't manage to post all the videos on time. But today I wanted to do a dedicated video around my top 5 tarot decks that came out in 2021. Not necessarily my most used decks, because I've used plenty of decks this year that were new to me but didn't necessarily come out in 2021, so I'm gonna be doing a separate video on that for my most used tarot decks. I'm gonna be doing a video on my top oracle decks that I used this year. Today's video is really about my top tarot decks that came out in 2021. If you're new, welcome, my name is Marine, I'm a French tarot reader. I love everything tarot, oracle and self-empowerment related. I love cards, I love tarot and oracle decks. We talk about that a lot on my channel. I also love reading the cards around helping you help yourself. That's very much my vibe. If you love cards, if you love reading the cards, being read the cards, then consider subscribing. I would love to have you join the tide. This video brings you anything of value, entertainment, knowledge, information, anything like that, then make sure to hit the like. I'm really grateful. It's a nice exchange of energy. Without further ado, let's get into my top 5 tarot decks that came out in 2021. So if you think I devised this plan of showing you my top 5 tarot decks of 2021 just so that I could do more videos to show you also my most used decks of 2021, because I have massive troubles to pick and make decisions around putting things in tops, then you're right. I've definitely done that. Let's start with number 5 in my spot, and you know, again, I mean, those are all great decks. Just because I put it in number 5 doesn't mean this one is worse than the other. They're all fantastic, okay? You could have easily interswitched some of them, minus perhaps the first one, which really for me was outstanding. This pick is the Good Karma Tarot, and now the Good Karma Tarot, the one I have, is French, and so that is by caveat. In France it came out in 2021. I'm not sure about in English, and so maybe this is someone that came out end of 2020 in English, I'm not sure, but the French version anyway, we got it in mid-2021. It's a very modern day based deck. It's very rooted in modern day life. It much follows RWS, but in a way where it's kept the essence of the symbolism, but has insufflated the ideas, archetypes, imagery into more 2021 vibes. So I love this deck very much so, especially because it's such a good all-rounder, right? It follows RWS, so for me, it's a no-brainer to read. I never have to wonder what I'm looking at. It's very easy. I love the inclusion of different ethnicities in this deck. For me, this is important. I love the fact that it's helping us to look at some maybe more outdated kind of imagery and put that into normal life. So for example, the chariot is on a motorbike. That's quite fun. The colors are super bright, which is really attractive to me. I love a colorful deck. There's definitely a lot of joy coming from this deck. It feels like a very joyous deck. And the guidebook is fantastic. The guidebook is, if you're a beginner, or not, everyone could benefit from reading guidebooks, even non-beginners. There's always something we can learn from the guidebooks, at least for me anyway. I consider myself an eternal student, but especially if you're a beginner, I would 1000% recommend this deck, because the guidebook is fantastic. It gives you a ton of information around how to get started, potential spreads, upwards meaning, reversal meanings. It's giving you a lot of information, but at the same time it's not too much that you don't get bogged down into the whole esoterical kind of symbolism, etc., where sometimes when you're starting out it can be too much. Like sometimes when you're starting out, too much information on all the little symbols, it can be a bit overwhelming. What I love about this deck is that there's still a lot of bits from Pixie's artwork from the RWS that are in each and every card. They're just hidden as like layers of meanings for you to look. So I like that. I think it still very much keeps the essence of tarot, which for me is important. It's kind of like paying homage to its heritage, but still trying to modernize it. Great deck for me to be able to read for everyone and everything. I would totally feel comfortable using it on my channel for pick a card readings and things like that, because I don't think it's threatening. If I was to do paid readings, I could totally see myself using this deck, because I feel like it's quite inclusive, you know, in the sense that I don't think anyone would feel triggered by it. I thought it might be a bit fluffy, or how can cutesy. That was my fear when I picked it up, but actually it's turned out to be a really good reader. It's a good workhorse, this deck. Career readings, I can do self-care readings, I can do relationship readings, I can do very much like day-to-day readings with this, you know, about practical life matters, and it's always gonna ring true. So this is definitely a favorite for me, and it is the Good Karma Tarot, or in French it's called Le Tarot du Bon Karma, because we're original like that. Okay, coming in at number 4, and this is only coming at number 4 because it's a deck I haven't had for as long as some of these other ones. This is, again, caveat. I'm cheating so much on this video. Here I am telling you at the beginning of the introduction, like, I'm doing this to make it easier for me, and then realizing, is this actually making my life easier? Maybe not. The Star Spinner Tarot, the French edition, came out in 2021. I don't know about the English version. Maybe it came out in 2020, but because I have the French edition, I'm counting this as my 2021 deck that came out in 2021. In French, it's called Le Tarot des Royaumes Céleste. In English, it's called the Star Spinner Tarot. It's a mass market tarot deck by Trungles, and I believe this might have been a Kickstarter before. Did I make that up? Let me know in the comments. This deck I only picked up in the beginning of November, and so you could think, okay, this is a bit too soon to put it in your top of the year that came out this year, because you've only had it for a couple of months, but oh my god, I love this deck, and I didn't think I would, because I remember when I first started seeing walkthroughs, I think I watched like one walkthrough of the English version when it came out, and I literally watched like maybe a couple of cards and I was like, meh, next. You know, just like not feeling it. And I guess at the time I was a bit overwhelmed by the amount of decks that were coming out, or it was just not the time, it was just not the season, it was just not it, I don't know. But it didn't call to me at all. And then I went to the bookshop and that they had released this in French version. I'm always surprised to see some tarot decks where I live, because if you don't know, I live on a tropical island called Reunion near Madagascar, Mauritius, in the Indian Ocean. And so it's very rare to go in the bookshops and to see oracle decks and tarot decks. It's starting to be a little bit more regular, but we get things like 6 months later from everyone at least. I saw that they had this in my local bookshop. I was like, this is a sign, must buy it. The Star Spinner Tarot. It took me by surprise so much, and I fell in love with this deck very strongly, and I didn't think I would. And I can assure you this is a deck I'm going to continue using next year, because I don't want to put it down at the moment of me filming this. Before I get into it, I just want to say, for all of my French viewers, the box that it comes in is beautiful. I feel like the guidebook will be identical in English and French. And actually the guidebook, for those of you who have it, read the introduction if you haven't read it, because the introduction is very great. One of the best introduction of guidebooks I've read this year, because for once it talks about the history of tarot through a lens of colonialism, and how the history of tarot is rooted in problematic things such as systemic oppression, colonialism, Orientalism, things like that. It's not super long, but it does give you a lot to think about, and it's a perspective we don't see a lot in the introduction of decks. So here are the backs of the French version, tarot deck that is inspired by fairy tales from around the world. And the colors, first off, the colors, beautiful. There's so many bright pinks, yellows, blues, purples, oranges. It's a joy. Honestly, this deck, it feels very joyous again. Second of all, I really enjoy this kind of fairy tale vibe, because I don't really have a deck, any other deck that is, at least tarot, that is rooted in fairy tale. And I know there's a few out there, but this one, it does it in a way that it's not even though it's the theme of the deck, at the same time it's not the main focus. So if you don't know necessarily the fairy tales that are referred to in this deck, it won't stop you from reading with it, because it's done in a way where the archetypes are still very much in line with, you know, RWS, so which is my preferred system at the moment anyway. So in that way I really appreciate that. I will say that you have, one of my favorite thing about the deck is you have 4 different lovers card. Here are 2, and so you have 2 queer representations, so 2 same-sex couple kind of cards, and then you have 2 cards where one is more, I would say, this one here with the tree and the apple, sorry, here, maybe it's more traditional, and then this one I would say maybe it's more gender neutral. And so in total you have 4 choices. I think it's brilliant to have that kind of choice, to have 4 different lovers card. And you know what I've done? I've actually left them all in. And is that a controversial opinion? Maybe it is. And you know what? I love it. I actually had that happen to me, where one of my readings I did around the full moon in Taurus, that was happening in November, I had two or three two lovers card come up, and it really helped me to get the message. And I wouldn't have got it if I didn't have those extra lovers card, because maybe I wouldn't have put that much importance on the lovers in my spread. And so actually it's been really helpful to have different cards. And of course, if you were to do readings for others, then it's nice to have that choice, because especially if you're doing relationship readings, you are able to tailor to your querent's need. Very much a story time kind of vibe. And I didn't think I would bond with this deck as much as I did in the short space of time I've had it, but this really speaks. Here we have another lovers card. Here it just speaks so clearly to me, this deck. I love the representation it has. I love the idea behind it of trying to be very inclusive, especially in terms of relationship. I think that is so important, and something that I'm so happy to see in the mass market decks, because oftentimes those kind of efforts, we tend to see them more in indie decks. So to see that in the mass market decks is wonderful. I think the backings are so dreamlike and ethereal and just joy. This deck is just a joy. So I can't wait to use it even more in the new year. Okay, coming in at number 3, we have the Gift of Life Tarot by Alice Smith. I think it came out in 2021, but I'm not sure. Maybe it came out end of 2020. Don't quote me on this. And I tried to look for the information on the box and it wasn't available, but it's definitely not an old release, you know what I mean? Like, it's been around for, I'd say, a year max, because in the guidebook Alice Smith explained that she created this deck during the pandemic, during like lockdown, when she didn't really have she couldn't really do her normal job, which is like world photographer, which is awesome, by the way. What kind of a cool job is that? The deck is a roller coaster of emotions. So this is a photographic deck, the only photographic deck I have where there's not been any manipulation. This is not a photo montage kind of deck. It's literally pictures that Alice Smith, and like I said, is a world photographer, has gone around the world and took pictures on her travels throughout the years. And then the pandemic happened and they had time, and so they went through all their archives of images and decided to find the images that would correspond to each of the card. And I love that idea, because it means that they didn't go out there and try to portray the Empress, but they actually went through the images they had already taken and tried to find an image that corresponded to the Empress energy. And for me, that was wonderful. That's a wonderful idea, because we really get here the full human experience. I love this deck so much, but it's almost like I can't use it too much, because it's like so profound that sometimes I just get too emotional when I use it. And I don't know why. I don't know why this deck does this to me. I don't know if it's because of the realness and raw aspect of the human experience that is conveyed through this deck, because there's so many elders in this deck. It's literally real people living real lives. What I love about this deck so much as well is in that in the guidebook you have the explanation of the card, but you also have the moment when Alice took the picture. So in that way you understand why she associated, for example, like I was saying, the Empress with that particular image, because you know what was going on behind, what was the life moment. I don't think I've used this deck on pick a card readings or anything like that yet, because so far I've been kind of greedy in keeping that deck for me. I've not even read it with it for friends or anything like that, because it feels like, I don't know why, I probably should, and you know, it's something I'm gonna work towards for sure, sharing the beauty of this deck, but so far I've just felt really cool to keep it for me for now, to continue to explore the experiences and the emotion that this deck brings up for me. I will say that the deck actually, a big portion, if not all, of the proceedings go back to a association charity, so that's also nice. You can find all the information on Alice's website and her Etsy, etc., which I will leave below. I'll always leave the link. If I show you an indie deck, I always leave the links in the description box below, so this way you always know where to get it. This is a gift of life, right? So this is very tailored around life purpose, life mission, the gift in every moment, and so the guidebook has a lot of interesting talks for each of the cards, meaning, sorry, for each of the cards tailored around that aspect of reading tarot, which is something I really resonate with. So not only this deck is beautiful, not only is it a celebration of the experience of human nature, it's also got a really great guidebook. So this is definitely a must for me and gonna be a favorite, I'm sure, for a long time to come. Okay, coming in at number 2, we have the Outgrow Yourself Tarot Oracle by Akta Spaman. Oh my god, this deck nearly came in top place, but again, because it's more recent acquisition, I was like, I can't do that yet. It doesn't feel fair to the number 1, which has been around for a bit longer to me and that has had more use. But then at the same time, I've used this deck so much already since I've got it. This is an indie deck that is sold directly by Akta. So Akta, I believe they're a Swedish artist. I think they're Swedish, and so you can get straight on their website. Again, I leave the link in the description box below. And so this is both a tarot and an oracle, because this is actually inspired by the teeth. I've decided I'm gonna call it teeth tarot from now on, because I'm sick of trying to figure out how you say it, especially with the French accent on top. It's impossible. So inspired by the teeth tarot. So in the sense that it has major arcana cards and minor arcana cards, the same amount of cards that you would expect from a tarot deck, same major numbers, same minor numbers, you have court cards, everything. The major cards are titled with the Magician, the High Priestess, etc. And the minor arcana cards are titled too, except instead of having 5 of Pentacles, you just have the keyword relating to the teeth tarot there. But this deck is also an oracle, because as you can see, on top of every single card you have a phrase that Akta I guess channeled, and those sentences they hit me in the feel. So technically this should have been in my oracle video, because I use this deck more as an oracle than I use it as a tarot. But when I do pull a major arcana card, I read it as both. It's just when it comes to minors, because I'm not so versed into the teeth tarot yet, I tend to go it as an oracle. So it's almost like I've devised my own way of reading with these decks, which doesn't make any sense to anyone but myself. And that's how I know I've bonded with this deck, because I found a way to communicate despite potentially my lack of knowledge around a certain part of its structure. As you can see, it's like this little being on every single card, surrounded by flowers, and I believe this is self-portrait of Akta, so they depicted, you know, themselves exploring the cards, which I love, and I see myself in those cards as well somehow, so I really relate in a way. But also this deck is giving me very much Persephone vibes, because we have this very dark background and some of the cards are quite tough to look at. This being is going through not happy things all the time. So there's a strong Persephone, queen of the underworld vibe, whilst at the same time the other side of Persephone, you know, being like the goddess of spring and being so much around flowers and growth, etc. This deck being called Outgrow Yourself, on every single card there's beautiful flowers, beautiful plants, etc. part of the character's journey. And this is giving me massively Persephone vibes for that reason. And it has a lot of fiery energy as well. For me, it's very Queen of Wands vibe. Deck is like very special to me. I've had some very powerful readings with it already. So it's never really out of my reach at the moment. And you might have seen me mention it a lot on Instagram. I've been sharing it there as well because I just love it. It's brilliant. Before I'm showing you my number one top deck that came out in 2021, this is a special mention, honorable mention. This is technically out of print, and so I didn't want to put it in a number, specific number, because I didn't want to create FOMO if someone really loves it and I'm like, this is the best deck of the year. It's not nice. But at the same time, I want to be transparent with you and say that for me, it's definitely part of the highlight of the releases of the year, and that is the Healing Waves Tarot, which is an indie release that was actually an Indiegogo campaign. They've done the Indiegogo campaign, they created the deck, and then they said they were not gonna make it available again, at least for the foreseeable future. This is the backs, and so if you couldn't tell by the name, the Healing Waves, which by the way was the first thing I heard about the deck. When I saw the Indiegogo campaign, I just saw the Healing Waves Tarot and I was like, sold. My channel is the waves of your soul. I love the ocean. My name is Marine. It's like, hello, match made in heaven. Actually, this deck is an ocean deck, all painted in watercolor. Here are the backs, by the way. And it came pre-edged in blue. Painted in watercolor using seawater. And I find that super interesting. I love that. And this is fully based around the ocean, mostly ocean animals, crabs, your turtles, jellyfishes, things like that. You have a couple of mermaid and mermen, but mostly it's animals and sea, ocean kind of creatures. Very healing, it's very soothing. For me, it feels very like inner child. Because I love the ocean. I wasn't born on Reunion Island, but I grew up here. I did spend a lot of my formative years by the ocean, so especially like around my childhood memories, a lot of them, I have a lot of beautiful memories linked to being on the beach, being in the ocean, etc. This deck really taps into that for me. Beautiful, the artwork is stunning. So happy I have this deck. So just a quick mention because it's very hard to get now. I think, I don't know, maybe you'll find it on Facebook trading groups, etc. I'm not sure because, like I said, it was very limited release and then they stopped printing it. Maybe they will reprint it. I hope they do because the world deserves this beautiful deck. But I wanted to give a quick mention. If I'm completely honest, this is definitely in my top 5 releases. You might not have seen me mention this deck a lot on my channel because I didn't want to add to the FOMO element, but I do want to be honest with you and say I've been really loving this. So, top 1 tarot deck that came out in 2021. Are you all ready? Drum roll. The Lubenko Tarot. This deck. The Lubenko Tarot and I have fallen in love. Honestly, it's been the most transformative deck that came out in 2021 for me. This was originally a Kickstarter, and I know that now on Etsy she's released the decks available to the rest of the world. This deck is very unique, I guess you could say that. It's beautiful, it's powerful, it is everything. And I really like this deck a lot and it's teaching me a lot. Here are the backs first of all, and it comes with silver edging. I will say, at least on the Kickstarter edition, a bit of my, because I've used this deck quite a lot, my edging is starting to show a little bit signs of wear, I will say that. But it's because I've used this deck a lot. Back of the box says that this is a fully illustrated 78 card tarot deck exploring the surreal, the intense, the queer and the divine. And this deck is all of those things. So it was created by a queer artist, which is something that I always like to help to support. I'm not part of the queer community, but a lot of my very close friends are. And so I always like to be able to support queer artists. It's very important to me personally. This deck is just it feels like you're going inside someone's psyche towards the light and the shadow. First off, it's very fantasy kind of world, right? It feels like you're stepping into a world of magic, mystery, of illusion, of dream. This deck feels like you're definitely in another dimension. And yet, a lot of the characters look somehow familiar because they feel like they're part of someone's psyche. It feels like going into the corner of your subconscious and you're pulling out stories, you're pulling out images. Some of the images are very confrontational. I know some people tend to not like this deck because a couple of images are quite, how can I say that, punchy. So for example, the Lovers card, it's gonna change the way you look at the Lovers. Let's just put it this way. Oh, and the cardstock. I never talk about cardstock on my channel because I don't really care. But this cardstock is amazing. Just so you know, like matte, it's beautiful. I don't know how to explain cardstock, but this is a full indie experience. If you're expecting beautiful cardstock from an indie deck, this is it. This is for sure great production value. So here is the Lovers, and it really shows codependency on how sometimes with the Lovers we can get so consumed with each other that it kind of becomes, does it become toxic, or do we feed on each other? Is it a healthy feeding habit? Is it codependency? Do we become like part of one and the same? Should we remain individuals, keep a sense of individuality? Is this codependency? Is this them and themselves? Because at the same time we don't know if this is two different people. It could be the same person. There is so much to unpack there. Every time I pull this card in a reading, it speaks differently. Same with a lot of those cards, to be honest. They always resonate differently depending on how I pick them because the cards are so distinctive. This is one of those for me. It's in the category of the Marielle Tarot, the Stunning Tarot. Take you outside of your known world and yet make you look at your ish. In a way that is still kind of gentle. This deck is beautiful, this deck is weird, this deck is strange, it's deep. Sometimes it helps me escape and sometimes it helps me go within. It's just all of those things. And you know me, if you watch any of my videos, you know I really like decks that are fantasy inspired. That's something I resonate with a lot. I have very eclectic taste, but I do really love decks that take you into another world. That's just something that I've always resonated since I was a child. I love fantasy and things like that, so that aspect of it definitely rings true for me with this deck. The guidebook is really interesting. We do get a little bit of Emily's version as to why they decided to do the images the way they did. Definitely a huge discovery for 2021, a huge favorite. For me, it's not a season deck, it's gonna be one that I'm gonna be keeping for years to come, and so I'm excited to see where we go. So my friends, this is it. You have my top 5 tarot decks that came out in 2021. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, then let me know in the comments. Would love it if you liked, subscribe, comment, all of that. It really does help my channel to grow. Would love it if you were to share the top 5 decks of 2021 for you. Like, what are your top 5? Thank you so much for the wonderful support this year. We're in the last stretch of the year now, and so I just wanted to take a moment to say how grateful I am for every one of you and how happy I am that I get to continue on this journey with you. And until my next video, as per usual, I am sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!